Irrespective of their cultural backgrounds, leaders may be made from home, but nurtured from school.
There are so many girls that feel love themselves and they can't raise a voice.
This journeys them into local, national, regional, all the way to continental and international leaders.
I believe I have the courage and that confidence to rule people.
I call this a nursery bed for future leaders.
Learn to accept things you cannot change. When I went to secondary, within S1, I was actually appointed a dining prefect. And I made sure that no girl in our school missed food.
In a world where leadership is crucial, it is always good to remember and highlight where it all begins. Halson High School in the Teso Sub-Regional District of Soroti in eastern Uganda is our case study. A platform for competition of ideas has been provided, with no room for insults, intimidation, or even blackmail. These young minds are shaping the future of democratic leadership and service delivery through embracing free and fair elections.
If you happen to tick this one, and the box and the tick does not cross to this other box, but crosses outside to what we call no man's area, still there is no problem.
This civic education is just part of a process that begins with announcement of positions, expression of interests, nomination, verification, and confirmation of candidates.
We usually give a range of 1 week and a half for receiving applications. After announcing, they write, then submit to the Electoral Commission. After, we shall do the vetting or the screening exercise. The vetting process is usually done to identify candidates with the potential, candidates who have the ability, the capability to serve. And we usually have some checkpoints that we consider, like problem-solving skills, the smartness of the candidate. We also consider articulation and presentation of that candidate in question when we are doing the verification exercise.
Mr. Dekeben is going to be our independent observer tomorrow.
Just before the campaigns begin, the main players in the process are announced, including the election observers.
Like it has been said, that is my name, Odekebe. I have, for the last year that I have been here, at least I have not witnessed any kind of chaos during election time. So I surely expect that this one as well is going to be a free and fair one.
This is meant to give assurance of a free, fair and transparent electoral process. And then The campaigns.
One thing I like about High School is that students have smartness. But where the challenge is, students want to be smart, but our challenge is we have a challenge of irony. It is not because we are poor, we can't afford flat iron. We have the flat iron, and the sockets are not there.
We can end brutal corporal punishments in the student structure, and then we embrace a new form of punishing students which will be friendly to the education structure of the students.
From campaign speeches to debates, it is an initiation of these students into the ins and the outs of the electoral process.
If given the mandate, I will make sure that at least our administrators make sure that, imagine our dormitories here, most of us, like our dormitories lack windows. So just vote wisely. Remember the first one on the other side. You can see at your writing and you put a nice one. Just remember, thank you.
The main positions being competed for are head prefect, head girl, and assistant head girl, among others. Iwako Joseph is squaring it off with Opolot Calvin for head prefect, while Akilor Irene is competing with Akiteng Rhoda for head girl.
I believe that when you're a leader, through your act, you can inspire very many people out there. Like there are some people out there, they have the potential, they have the ability to be leaders, but just like that, just afraid, they don't have that courage in them. So I want to be a leader because I want to encourage them also to do the same that I have done.
There's less discipline among students and they don't respect students. They don't respect teachers as they are going for meals. They tell them to make a line, they don't do that. Now if a student a teacher tells them to make a line, they be uttering bad words like that. So I aspired for that post, to create student-teacher relationship like that.
All the candidates are eyeing nothing less than victory.
The reason as to why I am running for this position is mainly to create a positive change in the relationship between the student body and the administrative structure of the school, which according to my analysis and observation is not one of the best.
I am being driven by the greatest leader once in Europe, known as Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon Bonaparte developed his career as a young gentleman where he joined the army and he was able to exhibit his skills that he had in the military.
The energy displayed by these candidates and their supporters is visible. But campaign posters are not. And here are the reasons why.
Being a school setting, we assume that these candidates don't have money. And we do that to avoid overstraining them, looking for cash. It involves issues to do with the bribes, but also it disadvantages the poor students without money. So to make the ground level for all the candidates, we give that guideline of no commercializing the election. Yes, that's why you see there are no posters around the school, and nobody is carrying them. Talk about the banners, we avoid that.
You know that there's a financial implication in production of posters. So, whereas a few students could handle, but I don't think they could produce sufficient posters for their campaigns. Initially, what we have done is to allow them to make artistic impressions of their posters. That is, if they are able. But the idea here is we need to level the ground. We need to make sure that some students are not disadvantaged. We try to make it as simple as possible.
It is in this spirit that already established national leaders come. The founder of this school is a national leader. She is both a member of parliament and a minister of state. She does not believe in monetization of electoral processes, whether at school or elsewhere.
So I tell parents not to make mistakes of always giving children money. I will not give my child, my daughter or my son, money for campaigning at school. I will not, because I will tell them this is my money. My father did not give me land. My father did not, yes, my father used to come to school, visit me, but he didn't give me a lot of pocket money. So I tell them to work hard. And I tell my students here, nobody should use motorcycles or nobody should come with a vehicle. We talk to the parents not to give their children to disadvantage the other ones.
With such policy and position, the candidates and their supporters are assured of a free, fair and transparent exercise. A day after campaigns, the elections take place. The exercise begins at 9 a.m., stretching all the way to 4 p.m. The announcement of winners, as is the norm, can only be done at the school assembly. Come Monday, the students anxiously gather to know who their next leaders are. It requires spiritual preparation, a reason for this early morning sermon.
Father, may you be at the center of it all, O King of Glory. May you cover our classes, cover everything that concerns us.
Awako Teddy, one of the school teachers, prepares them spiritually.
We need to set ourselves on things above the what? The earth. You aim at achieving something. You need to set yourself apart.
Then comes the long-awaited occasion. The man of the moment, Mr. Oinya Joseph, is here with the results of the elections.
Some of you also abused the ballot papers you were given. You find somebody, instead of ticking the rightful candidate of your choice, somebody writes in the ballot paper, "We are born unruly." But the same people eagerly want to hear the results.
Nevertheless, the results are announced from the lowest to the topmost position.
Assistant head girl is Asio Fortinet Hedwig. The head girl of the school for the year 2024-2025 is going to be Akiten Rada.
It is not a secret anymore on who has won what, including the position of the head prefect.
Finally, with the powers vested upon me as the chairperson electoral commission of this school, I want to declare Iwako Joseph is going to be the head prefect of Harrison High School. school 2024-2025. Please work with him, respect him, and ensure that he's a honored honorable.
One other spirit that has been instilled in these student leaders is one of accepting defeat. The losers concede.
I agree on that. I will not fight, but I will encourage her to do the right things like that. I will work with her to do the best. Yeah, I will motivate with her to try that, to make Halshon a better school in our regime.
I am not actually a politician, but a leader. So I do understand that once someone comes in a game, there may be someone with higher ambitions than him. So I am having hopes that I will come of this as the winner. But in any case, I don't, then there is no problem I have with that, because I see if we can achieve this together as students, then we can be able to move a step somewhere, no matter who does it or no matter who is on top of things.
I want to take this moment to thank and congratulate the prefects who were not able to make it, because they showed the willingness to be the leaders, and you will remain a leader even if you have not been able to make it.
At your level, you have what we call peer leadership. Peer leadership. They are of your age, but now they are your leaders. And I believe we all know that leadership comes from God. So this is not by accident. God is the one who has allowed that Wako is the head prefect, Akiteng is here. Very smart people.
There are people, when they contest, they think, if it's not me, then no other person. Even tomorrow when you live here, some of you will be MPs, some of you will be LOC 5s, some of you will be, in councillors and in any leadership. Learn to accept things you cannot change.
I, Akiteng Roger, swear in the name of the Almighty God, solemnly affirm that I will at all times.
And this is how Halshon High School has been and continues to mentor students into leaders, not just politicians.
So help me God.
We are here not only preparing academicians, but also preparing leaders. And so we must cut across. It's Ministry of Education and Sports. So we do academics, we do sports, but we also need to do leadership. As a matter of fact, let me give this as an example. We do both student leadership positions in the positions of prefects, but also we do it in WUNSA body, Uganda National Students Association. Our chairperson of WUNSA of 2022-2023 of the school advanced to the district and became a spokesperson of the district, but also advanced to the nationals and became a coordinator inter-school affairs at national level. I am not surprised today to hear that this boy wants to contest to be a youth member of parliament, Eastern Region. This is exactly what I mean when I say we are nursery bed for student leaders.
Through leadership programs and mentorship, these students are developing the skills they need to succeed.
When you talk about the excellent leaders in the country, like Norbert Mao, President General of the DP, he started at school level like this. Anderson was the head prefect of Wiri College. Yes, then also in Teso here, we have people like Honorable Peter Wang, the Minister of Sports. He was a head prefect at Soroti SS here in town. Then also, to tell you a reality, there's a student I have mentored in my work as a patron in this school that is going to contest in the forthcoming election in the names of Ochuli Yakob. is going to contest as a youth MP, Eastern Region, in the forthcoming election. So potential is there. We are very comfortable of the future. We look forward to developing them to be leaders of value, leaders whose voice is understood, respected, and honored in the country.
As a tool of our office that have been...
As they take over from their predecessors, these young leaders could make a difference in their communities, one step at a time.
Leadership never dies in you. Once a leader, forever a leader. So let's always practice our leadership. Let's not let the leadership die just because you're like, after all, I've handed over, I'm no longer a leader. No, that's not it.
So we shall always need your guidance as prefects. We shall always need your presence as the proprietors and some of the proprietors to guide us, to give us the guidance so that Ashonai School, by the end of the 2025 term, we would be able to see Ashonai School in another level.
I know we're going to be retired, I know, but in case of any challenge, we're always going to be there to guide you guys. And don't feel that maybe we will not help you guys. In case of anything, Chairperson will face me.
There are families where people have got issues. It is you, a prefect, who is sleeping with them in the same dormitory. The head teacher cannot help. Director of studies cannot help. Matrons may not understand. It is you, fellow students, to support your fellow colleagues. But if you become a prefect and you say, now I am in a thing, those Oboro, and the scholar, and the top layer, now I am a prefect. And you abandon those children, God is going to ask you. God is going to ask you because you are nearer your colleagues. Leadership is a service. So when you lose an election, like I did lose 2011, my supporters were really crazy. They were crying, but I stood up and told them, people were lying in my compound, completely discouraged and finished. They felt bad. I told them, get up. And I went to the kitchen and started cooking for thousands of people who had gathered in my compound. I told them, please, let us calm down. And I think as a leader, even when you lose, it is you to talk to your people. Because even during campaigns, it is you to guide your people and say, we shouldn't do this.
From overcoming fears to achieving victories, these students are learning valuable lessons about leadership and life. This makes safe the future of democracy, not just in Uganda, but beyond.